Problem 7. Sherry wants to enlarge a photograph to 350% of its original size. The copy machine she is using can only make enlargements for the following percentages: 50%, 75%, 100%, 150%, and 200%. Sherry thinks that she should enlarge the photograph by 150% and then by 200% to get a total enlargement of 350%. Do you agree with Sherry? Well, let's use an example here. Let's say that our original size is 10 inches. What would it mean for it to become 350% of its original size? Well, 200% would be like 20 inches. 300% would be like 30 inches. 350% is of its original size would be 35. So the copy machine she's using can only make enlargements for the following percentages: 50%, 75%, 100%, so on. So if you were going to take this and enlarge it by 50%, well, half of 10 is 5. So 50. If you enlarge this by 50%, you're going to go to 15 inches. So let's look at what would happen. Enlarge the photograph by 150%. So this is similar to what we've seen with exponential growth because it deals with percentages. So if you take 10 and multiply it by 1 plus the rate, or another, in this case the enlargement, you're going to get the total, the new size, essentially. So 150% would be a rate of 1.5, right? Because if I take 150 and divide it by 100, so I'm going to do 10 times 1 plus 150 divided by 100. I'm dividing by 100 to convert this into a decimal instead of a percent. So this is going to be 10 times 1 plus 1.5, 10 times 2.5, which is equal to 25. So enlarging 150% gets us to 25 inches. Now if we take that and we do the same thing, we multiply it, we enlarge it by 200%. Well, 200% is just doubling, but let's go through the process again. Let's say 25 times 1 plus r. Since I'm doing a 200% enlargement, that's 200 over 100. 25 times 3 is going to give us 75 inches. Too big. Too big. So we do not agree with Sherry. We want it to be 35 inches. So we can see that percents don't really add the way that normal numbers do. Okay, part B. Okay, if you selected yes below, explain why they're marginally. Well, we selected no, so we're not going to do that. If you selected no, give a sequence of the possible enlargements that would get a total of 350%, and explain why your sequence results in a total enlargement of 350%. Okay, so I'm going to just do some scratch work here before I write in my box. Okay, I want to get from 10, this is my example, I want to get from 10, I want to get to 35. And I'm going to use what I kind of learned up here, where I do the 10 times the 1 plus r to get my size after enlargement. So I can't do it in one step, so I'm going to have to do it in at least 2 steps. So I'm just going to try a few things. So if I did 10 times 1 plus 1.75, that would be the 75% enlargement. I'm just going to see what that does. So it'd be 10 times 1.75 would give me 17.5, and 17.5 is half of 35. So if I took this and gave it a 200% enlargement, I'd get to 35. So check it out. 17.5 times 1 plus 200% enlargement would be 200 over 100, which is just 2. So this is 17.5 times, wait, no, I don't want 200% enlargement. I want to multiply this by 2. So I want this to be multiplied by 2. So this isn't going to work because it's going to give me 3. But if I do 100% enlargement, that's going to give me 1. That'll give me 2. That would work. Okay, so first I did 75%, and then I did 100%. I got to 35. I wonder if I did it the other way, if I could, like if I did 100% first and then 75%, if I would also get the 35. Just curious. Let's see. So 10 times 1 plus 1. I'm just doing this kind of quick in my head because I know that 100 divided by 100 is 1. So this would be 10 times 2 and give me 20. Now if I take the 20 and I enlarge it by 75%, you can see what I did over here. This would be 1.75. 20 times 1.75. Oh, that works too. Cool. So I can actually do those two enlargements in either order. And there may be some other possibilities. That's just what I've found here. So if you selected no, give a sequence of possible enlargements that would get a total of 350%. Okay. So I'm gonna write this out, and then I will come back and explain what I wrote. Okay, so based on what we've discussed, here's what I wrote. She could enlarge by 75%, then 100%. So I'm giving them the answer, and now I'm explaining. For example, if the original was 10 inches tall, a new photo 350% of the original size would be 35 inches. So notice the way the question was phrased. It said it doesn't need to be enlarged 350%. The new photograph has to be 350% of its original size. So that's why I didn't do the 1 plus 350 over 100 to get the new size. 35 inches is 350% of the original 10 inches. Okay, so enlarging it by the 10 inches by 7.5% gives, and I wrote out what my calculation, 10 times 1 plus 75 over 100, and I get 17.5 inches. Now enlarging the 17.5 inches by 100% gives, and I go show another calculation, 7.5 times the 1 plus 100 over 100, it gives us 35 inches. And so enlarging by 75% gives a new photo 350% of its original size. So what I want you to notice here in my response, I gave the answer at the top. I explained it, I explained how I got it, and then I concluded basically by restating my answer that, you know, that's how I know that 75% and 100% enlargements result in a new photo that's the size we want it.